judge in question, Scott Johansson, does not seem to have the law nor the facts to support his heartbreaking decision to remove a one-year-old girl from the home of her foster parents. Those parents have been caring for her for 3 months now, since August, and they want to adopt her. Becky Pierce and April Hoagland were legally married 13 months ago. They were licensed by the state to take in foster children just a few months later. They've gone through all the checks. They have 2 biological children too, and their foster daughter's birth mother is supporting their plan to adopt her child. Get that? The mom wants this couple to adopt her baby. The Utah Division of Children and Family Services is also supporting this couple. So why does Judge Johansson object? He is not commenting publicly, but the parties in the courtroom say that he claimed to have research showing, quote, kids in homosexual homes don't do as well as in heterosexual homes. He would not provide that research that he said he had, nor would he say where he got that research. And state law does not bar same-sex foster couples. Let me repeat, state law, the stuff he actually works within, does not support this decision. Becky Pierce, one of the moms, is live on the telephone with me now from Utah. Becky, has there been any movement at all in this case since the media has highlighted what's going on with your family?
Well, we've retained an attorney, and they're looking at the case to see what we can do with it, along with UCFS's attorneys and the Attorney General's office.
And so, in the meantime, as I understand it, you and your wife April are sort of under the gun here. You've got 1 week in which Child and Family Services has to find another home for your baby. Is that train is still going?
That is correct. That's what we're trying to stop right now. We want to do what's best for the child and make sure that she's taken care of the way she should be. We don't want her bounced back and forth.
Speaking of the care, did the judge in this case ask any questions about the kind of care that you and April provided? Not only the 2 children we're seeing, on camera right now in these lovely pictures, but also to your 1-year-old baby. The doctor's appointments, the inoculations, all those kinds of standard operating procedures that new parents all have to go through. Were you asked about the kind of care you're providing?
We were not, and this judge doesn't know us from anybody else. The people who recommended us to keep the child and adopt her when the time comes have been in our home. They've seen the dynamic of our family. They've seen how well the child's doing. And the judge doesn't know anything about it other than we're a same-sex couple.
When I was in the 3rd grade, I thought that I was gay, cause I could draw. My uncle was, and I kept my room straight. I told my mom, tears rushing down my face. She's like, Ben, you've loved girls since before pre-K. Trippin'. Yeah, I guess she had a point, didn't she? Bunch of stereotypes all in my head. I remember doing the math, like, yeah, I'm good at Little League. A preconceived idea of what it all meant. But those that like the same sex had the characteristics. The right-wing conservatives think it's a decision, and you can be cured with some treatment and religion. Man-made rewiring of a predisposition, playing God. Oh nah, here we go. America the brave still fears what we don't know. And God loves all his children. It's somehow forgotten, but we paraphrase a book written 3,500 years ago. I don't know.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. And I can't change, even if I tried. Keeps me warm. She keeps me warm.
think hip-hop hates me. Have you read the YouTube comments lately?
We used the case study of April and Becky Pierce as a reference for our survey questions. Our first question was, do you think the judge made the right ruling? Out of the 21 people that we asked, 18 people, or 86%, said that the judge did not make the right decision. The other 3 people, or 14%, said that the judge did indeed make the right decision to deny the Pierce's right to adopt a child.
The next question we asked was, should same-sex couples be able to adopt? For this question, we had 18 people, or 86%, say yes, they should be able to adopt. The other 3 people, or 14%, said that same-sex couples should not be able to adopt children.
The final question we asked was if people believed whether living in a gay family or a straight family affected child development. 7 people, or 33%, said that yes, the development of the child would be different, whereas 14 people, or 67%, said that the child's development would not be different.
The utilitarian approach sees nothing wrong with homosexuality because no one can be harmed by treating homosexual couples with the same dignity as heterosexual couples. The Kantian approach is mainly against homosexuality as it cannot become universal law because if every human were to engage in strictly homosexual activity, there would be no ways to reproduce. We found that the Aristotelian approach did not apply because in his writings he barely touched on the subject of homosexuality. A 2015 Gallup poll inferred that about 16% of the United States population identified as homosexual. To put that in perspective, the United States has a population of about 326 million people, which would mean that almost 50 million people identify as homosexual. In this same 2015 poll, 60% of people favored legalized same-sex marriage. In 2013, Pew Research stated that only 46% of children were living in traditional households, which were defined as both a husband and wife in their first marriage. In 2010, American researchers published results from a meta-analysis of 33 studies comparing the well-being of children raised by opposite-sex couples with children raised by same-sex couples. This study found no evidence that children raised by same-sex parents fared any worse than other children on a range of behavioral, educational, emotional, and social outcomes. A 2008 study by the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network in the United States found many children raised by same-sex partners had experienced or witnessed some form of homophobic harassment at school. This case is significant because of the amount of the United States children that are in foster care. According to children'srights.org, in 2015, over 670,000 children spent time in foster care, with an average of 428,000 in foster care on any given day, with half of these children being a racial minority. On average, children can stay in foster care for nearly 2 years, while 6% have been there for more than 5 years. Also, in 2015, 20,000 young people aged out of foster care without being linked to a stable home, known as forever families. Research has shown that these youths are more likely to be homeless, unemployed, or incarcerated. Is being raised in a homosexual household worse than these alternatives?
I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Just praying to a God that I don't believe in. 'Cause I got time while she got freedom. 'Cause when her heart breaks, no, it don't break even.